Japan now lives in a future where morals go full dictator mode. All lewd jokes, dirty words, and even slight perverted thoughts are banned. Citizens must wear special collars that track their words and actions. The government calls it purity. The rest of us call it 1984, with more shame. Tanukichi Okuma, a plain guy with a tragic past of being the son of a famous erotic terrorist, just wants to start fresh at the country's cleanest school, and his goal is simple. He wants to stay low-key and impress the student council president Anna, a girl who's basically Elsa from Frozen if Elsa was obsessed with virginity and justice. This day, Tanukichi rides the monorail to school like a normal student, dreaming about seeing Anna again. The guy still thinks he can impress her despite looking like a side character from a rejected rom-com. But he stumbles into a public scene where chaos breaks out. Tanukichi tries to calm the situation, but the decency squad shows up, ready to lock him up like he's smuggling some juicy photos of Sydney Sweeney. Out of nowhere, Blue Snow, a girl wearing panties on her face, appears, and Tanukichi takes the chance to escape in the confusion. At school, he tries to go back to normal life, but this school doesn't believe in peace. A classmate suddenly demands him to answer how babies are made. The student council calls Tanukichi for questioning. Instead of arresting him, they ask him to help catch Blue Snow. They think he can get close to the terrorist. He agrees, but mostly to stay in the good books of Anna. Later, he meets the vice president Ayame Kaju in a cafe. She reveals she is Blue Snow, the founder of SOX, the terrorist group that spreads lewdness in a world gone boring. And her idea of rebellion includes throwing out pure anime tropes and hurling plastic bananas at the status quo. Not only that, she also blackmails him into joining SOX. Threatened, he helps her spread some perverted flyers around the packed gym like a pervert Santa, and then tricks the teachers into running outside, while Ayame plays a video of two flies doing what a virgin like you has never done. And to make it worse, she adds weird sound effects that make it sound like something much worse. Meanwhile, Tanukichi puts on the Blue Snow disguise and draws a giant asterisk on the track using a paint machine. That symbol messes with every student's head. Nobody knows why it's so suggestive, but they all feel confused, hot, and emotionally broken. Ayame calls their last school prank a massive success at Feelercio Cafe, but Tanukichi looks more like a man who just realized he joined a circus with no escape. She eats ice cream in the most suggestive way possible and blames his dirty thoughts for noticing. The symbol Tanukichi painted turns out it looks more like a nuclear plant than a deep tunnel. Ayame thinks betrayal turned him on, which is insane. He swears he's not into SOX's nonsense, but Ayame keeps teasing him like a chaotic big sister with zero shame. During a student council meeting, Anna brings up Saturday's chaos. Tanukichi mentally apologizes again like he's trapped in a never-ending soap opera. Guriki suspects him because of his criminal dad, Zenjuro. Tanukichi recalls his younger self, laughing at his dad's banana jokes until his dad becomes a public enemy. When he does a loud public wrestling rant against the decency squad, the nation cancels the whole family. Nobody talks to him anymore, but that changes when Anna offers him friendship during daycare, making Tanukichi promise to live purely. Ayame calls this backstory peak cringe romance reel of TikTok. She forces Tanukichi to help with Phase 2. He refuses, so she threatens to call the decency squad. The new mission is to find and hide illegal dirty magazines across the school. Tanukichi finds them in a hidden cabin and feels guilty again. Still, he hides them with Ayame. That guilt fades the moment Hyuka, a science girl with zero filters, casually asks if he wants to body meld with her because her flies prove their baby-making theory. At another council meeting, Tanukichi mentally apologizes again. A picture on the wall shocks him. It's one of the smuggled images. Anna thinks it's just a party girl eating a mushroom. She doesn't get why the girl isn't using hands and assumes it's a party game. Ayame launches a wild plan. This time, she wants to create chaos by faking protein traces in the boys' urine samples. Yes, this girl literally wants to expose teenage wrestling stats like it's some Olympic doping scandal. She sends Anna and Guriki off on a fake lead, while Tanukichi dresses as Blue Snow and starts teaching students dirty words using only visuals. The lesson nearly hits deep tunnel spelling level before Anna storms in and chase begins. She soon corners him, but Ayame shows up just in time, holding stolen pea samples like victory flags. Anna and Guriki chase the real Blue Snow, letting Tanukichi ditch the disguise and slip away. From a nearby rooftop, Otomi silently watches everything, and grins like Light Yagami after writing another name in the notebook. A ceremony is held to honor Autumn's painting, but she rips her award on stage, like she's debuting in a discount punk rock movie. She claims she's too emotionally broken to accept it. After the event, Anna starts acting strange. Tanukichi notices it, but Ayami tells him to stay out of it for his own good. Later at school, Tanukichi blames himself for Anna's weird behavior until Yoka pops up between his legs like a glitch in reality, asking about Blue Snow's new urine sample prank. Before he can answer, Otomi throws a collar on his neck and drags him to the art room. She threatens to expose his socks ties unless he helps cure her art block. Ayame walks in, sees the collar, and assumes something freaky is happening. Honestly, even you would report this to HR. After Ayame leaves in panic, Otome admits she's in love with someone, but Ayame is her romantic rival. Tanukichi looks shocked, so she nearly kicks his face before Guriki walks in and hauls her away. At the cafe, Ayame mocks Tanukichi for being a walking misunderstanding magnet. She says she's been watching Otome and wants her in socks as an erotic artist. Tanukichi asks about Anna, so Ayame reveals she has a stalker. Tanukichi wants to help, but Ayame says he should deal with Otome while she handles the stalker. Surprisingly, she adds that Anna is the only person who ever helped her live a normal life. Next day, Otome meets Tanukichi again and pressures him into revealing his crush. When it's time to share names together, he gets an email and stalls. Otome threatens to call the decency squad. To avoid blowing up her dream, he lies and says he likes Ayami. Otome finds that perfect. They'll tear their crushes apart and win together. At school, Anna drops a bottle and Guriki snaps, grabbing Tanukichi until Anna calms him down. Ayami suspects Guriki likes Anna, which explains his reaction. She jokes that the country forgot love after PMs were forced. Tanukichi brings up Otome but stops halfway. Ayame suddenly assumes Otome is the stalker and freaks out. She makes a plan, fake date Anna in public to bait the stalkers. Otome has her own plan. She shaves Tanukichi's legs to disguise him as a girl. This poor man just unlocked girl mode for a mission he didn't even vote for. During the trap date, Otome spies and spirals into jealous sketching. She cries over Anna while Guriki falls for the girl next to her, until realizing it's Tanukichi. Then chaos begins. Stalkers attack. Ayame kicks one. Otome gets thrown. Guriki gets body slammed. Tanukichi punches one guy and crashes straight onto Anna, accidentally kissing her. Everyone panics over his bleeding nose, but Anna feels something strange for the first time, and that's the start of the real madness. Tanukichi recovers in the hospital, quietly munching apples like a sad side character. Suddenly, Hyuka climbs through the window like a glitchy Pokemon spawn, offering him her garden eel as a gift. She tells him she visited Anna, who's been acting extra strict lately, something even Hyuka finds weird. Tanukichi gets upset, realizing Anna hasn't visited him even once. That kiss clearly changed something. Later, Ayame drops by to deliver bigger drama. She reveals Otome has officially joined Socks to draw spicy art. But there's a problem. Otome is still stuck in a creative slump and desperately needs real inspiration. She visits Tanukichi at the hospital and admits full-body sketches of Anna have almost awakened her inner perv artist. Unfortunately, she also says Anna refused to visit Tanukichi, which hits him like a K-drama betrayal arc. Tanukichi returns to school, but Anna avoids him like he's radioactive. When he reaches home, something feels off. His balcony has strange shiny goo on it. Then he finds creepy love letters stuck to his door like a bootleg dating sim gone wrong. Tanukichi starts suspecting he has a stalker. Ayame summons him to the cafe basement to talk about the next Socks operation. A treasure trove of forbidden magazines is hidden in Yatsuga Forest, and she plans to gather students as cover to sneak them out. These books will help Otome draw all the fake bananas and juicy mangoes her heart desires. But Tanukichi confesses that he didn't post the maps around school like planned, because he's dealing with the mysterious goo sender. Things escalate when Sophia Nishikinomiya, Anna's mom, appears on live broadcast, announcing a horror update. Students might soon be forced to wear PM devices as underwear. That's right, Japan is speedrunning into a dystopia where even your banana wiggles are government data. Ayame panics. Her forest mission is falling apart, and Otome is growing desperate for visual material. Ayame cooks up a bizarre backup plan, somehow get the stalker close enough to gather reference material for Otome. Everything goes off script when the stalker breaks into Tanukichi's room during the night. Ayame walks in, only to find a half-naked mess and a shocked Tanukichi. The stalker bolts. Ayami stares down and sees the banana. She freezes. Otome bursts out of hiding like a possessed gremlin with a sketchbook, drawing with her mouth in pure chaos mode. Tanukichi screams. Ayami screams. At school, Anna brings Tanukichi and Ayami cookies she baked. Tanukichi eats one and instantly senses something's very wrong with the flavor. That's when Anna casually reveals her secret ingredient, a personal liquid she calls love nectar. Tanukichi runs to the water fountain in pure horror. Ayami, ever the chaos fan, tells him that now Anna's feelings are out, they might as well wrestle. Suddenly, Anna crashes through a fence like the Terminator with romantic trauma and threatens Ayami with scissors. After a quick excuse, Ayami gets spared, but Anna hurls the scissors behind her. They nearly hit Tanukichi's banana, and he faints like a cartoon extra. That night, Anna returns home, where her mother, Sophia, unveils the new PM model, one worn as underwear. At the cafe, Ayami tells Tanukichi not to panic. She believes Anna's unhinged behavior might ironically help educate students. The plan now is to scatter Otome's dirty artwork across school to stir interest in Yatsuga Forest. But things fall apart again. Anna finds Tanukichi and offers him a bottled version of her love nectar like it's a souvenir from hell. He runs for his life. Over the next few days, Anna keeps chasing him down like a lovesick horror movie villain, hoping to claim his nectar in return. Tanukichi fails to drop any drawings, and to make it worse, Sophia calls in backup from the decency squad for the upcoming rally. On rally day, Ayami and Tanukichi head to Yatsuga Forest to steal the stash themselves. Ayami apologizes for dragging him into her mess and promises to fight alone if needed. Before they can act, a huge crowd of thirsty students arrives, led by Hyuka. Turns out, she found the drawings in Tanukichi's bag and spread them across campus like a rogue marketing campaign. Victory looks near for Socks until Anna swings in from a tree, laser-focused on finding love through wrestling. She chases Ayami's blue snow, forcing Ayami to toss Tanukichi off a cliff to save him. Tanukichi crashes into a cave shaped like a deep tunnel, conveniently filled with banned books. Anna strangles Blue Snow until a masked Tanukichi appears. Anna feels something strange for this new terrorist and runs away, leaving behind a rainbow like a Final Fantasy boss. Back at Sophia's press conference, she proudly shows what she thinks are signed documents, but they're Otome's dirty sketches. National TV cuts the feed in seconds. The ex-prohibition law gets destroyed in public embarrassment. Tanukichi declares, "This is just the start of his Ero terror journey, and you are going to die as a virgin if you keep binge-watching recaps without subscribing." Ayami begins the episode by explaining her new plan to Tanukichi. Students now know the feeling of desire, but they still don't understand how to express it. She wants to teach solo wrestling techniques, and for that she needs homemade tools. She talks about making lube, crafting practice toys, and using Otome's drawings as manuals for the girls. Tanukichi argues about which tools work for boys and which work for girls, turning the conversation into a low-budget science debate. Otome interrupts and suggests they experiment instead, because she wants to get the art right. Ayami sends Tanukichi to ask Hyuka for mechanical massage eggs. She threatens to lock him alone with Anna if he refuses. Otome is told to paint the toys, and Tanukichi is in charge of testing quality, using his finger because Ayami says neither of them owns a banana. They cook lube together, and Otome keeps eating it like it's pudding. She is basically Kirby with trauma. Ayami tries recreating famous traditional toys, like the chilled gel sheet Tenga and potato starch X, but Tanukichi hates the temperature extremes. After hours of chaos, Ayami considers putting a motor into an eggplant before giving up. Soon after, Hyuka emails that the massage eggs are complete. Tanukichi visits her lab. Hyuka shows him prototypes in the remote. Then she stands there in only her lab coat because she claims to be studying insect body melding. She asks Tanukichi to show his cucumber, which he refuses. Their argument turns into a chase. Anna suddenly walks in and sees Tanukichi with a half-naked Hyuka. Jealousy flares. She rips the doorknob off the door with raw strength like Chichi after imagining Goku doing ding-dong with Bulma. To calm her down, Tanukichi pretends the massage egg is a gift for Anna and calls it a rare power stone. Anna accepts it and wears it like jewelry. Tanukichi looks like a man who just detonated his own life. Next day, he tells Ayami the disaster. Things get worse when Anna collapses in the council room because the massage egg turns on by accident. Tanukichi tries the remote, but nothing works. Anna grabs him again as Ayami calls him a pervert and runs away. Tanukichi escapes and begs Hyuka to fix the remote, but she needs the egg itself. Anna chases him through school. Otome yells that she is with Tanukichi just to create art of them body melting, embarrassing him. Guriki drags Tanukichi back for the weekend project, but Anna attacks again. Her juicy mangoes shake free from her shirt as the device overpowers her. Tanukichi tries not to panic when the egg rolls near his crotch. The egg finally breaks, freeing him. Days later, Anna asks for another power stone, and when Otome makes a teasing remark, Anna becomes jealous and strangles Tanukichi. This school needs therapy more than oxygen. 1 month after the wild Yatsuga forest mission, Ayami strikes new deals with 4 other Era-Terror groups. She trades Socks' magazine stash for their rare forbidden literature. The girl basically becomes a black market librarian with a pervy agenda. On the school rooftop, Tanukichi eats lunch with Guriki until Ayami joins and starts teasing them like they're the school's hottest couple. Suddenly, a scream from the girls' dressing room ruins the mood. Binken-chan reports a new crisis: stolen underwear. More cases appear across the city. The student council begins investigating while Ayame and Tanukichi spy from outside. Trouble arrives fast. Hana pounces on Tanukichi again in an overly intense wrestling move, just before Guriki shows up. Anna leaks love nectar on Tanukichi mid-chaos, pretending she doesn't know what just happened. Otome watches everything from the bushes, sketching like she's filming an award-winning hentai documentary. She also realizes Ayame hasn't returned from the changing room. Tanukichi checks and finds Ayame accusing Hyuka of hiding something. Hyuka finally reveals a secret yaoi novel, Please Don't Hate My Banana. Turns out she didn't write it. Ayame and Otome did. Ayami confesses she's into those stories, especially since one girl said she loves seeing Tanukichi and Guriki together. Back outside, Anna and Guriki catch the real underwear thieves. Before they can celebrate, a strange broadcast appears in the sky. A masked pervert named White Peak introduces himself as the leader of Gathered Fabric and says he wants to join Socks to bring down society. Underwear rains from above like a Victoria's Secret version of a Fortnite loot drop. At the cafe, Ayame fumes. White Peak makes Socks look bad. She calls him a useless freak who just wants to sniff panties, not spark change. Tanukichi says Socks is already seen as villains, but Ayami wants him shut down. On his way home, Tanukichi gets knocked over by a strange girl fleeing the decency squad. Her name is Kasuri. After pretending to be innocent, she convinces Tanukichi to help her hide. Hyuka appears, looking for her ripped yaoi novel. Tanukichi promises to stall the council while Hyuka escapes. Kasuri suddenly tases a random man and declares she wants to join Socks. She even threatens Tanukichi until he reveals he's already in the group. At Tanukichi's place, Kasuri begs to join Socks. Ayami tells her to go solo wrestle her dad. Kasuri reveals her dad gave her weapons, saying Socks inspired him. Tanukichi feels bad and wants her in, but Ayame smells something fishy. When Kasuri explains, the decency squad is chasing her. Ayame realizes that arresting Kasuri could spark a nationwide war. With no choice, Ayami lets her in. Kasuri joins Socks officially, and now this team has way too many weirdos and not enough brain cells. Tanukichi wakes up and finds Kasuri sleeping next to him. The situation already feels cursed. Things get worse when Anna appears outside his room, holding a knife like a yandere in 4K resolution. To calm her down, Tanukichi lies that Kasuri is his half-sister. Kasuri plays along but makes things weird, causing Anna to nearly throw knives into her face. After apologizing, Anna introduces herself and leaves. Kasuri immediately falls through the floor into someone else's apartment like a sitcom extra who spawned in the wrong set. Guriki visits Tanukichi and mentions an emergency student council meeting. Tanukichi hides Kasuri and Otome, who's still in the closet, drawing questionable art. Otome introduces herself to Kasuri, who gets even more obsessed with Socks after seeing her artwork. Ayami later teases Tanukichi and Guriki again, convinced something is going on. She suspects the emergency meeting is about a new school enforcer, trained by none other than Matsukage's Nishikinomiya. This new prefect, Oboro, shows up at school and immediately removes anything he finds lewd: basketball hoops, ropes, ping-pong balls, and volleyball nets. The guy clearly sees a hentai plot in every gym class. Oboro later enters his class and finds Hyuka hiding under his desk with "Please Don't Hate My Banana." She asks why girls like yaoi. Oboro tries to confiscate the comic, but Hyuka claims it helps her study science. Tanukichi fails to back her up, but Hyuka wins the debate and keeps the book. Back at home, Kasuri greets Tanukichi wearing only a coat. Otome drops in like a pervert-themed Batman, and Tanukichi scolds them both. He tells them how Ayami inspired him and how socks became his mission. At the cafe, Ayami gives Kasuri a disguise and explains their new mission: spread dirty media at Zashigoka Academy. Kasuri charges in solo and manipulates the student council into handing over a school map. She also hacks their TVs to loop fly mating footage. Ayami praises her work as evil genius meets middle school chaos. Kasuri later brags to Tanukichi. She reveals how she made every guy in the council fall in love with her, then crushed their spirits by playing them all. She even forces Tanukichi to lick her foot to prove loyalty. Ayami warns that the Decency Squad's spread might push students into becoming morality enforcers. Socks faces real threats now, but Ayami isn't backing down. She says it's time to go bigger. A massive plan is already forming in her chaotic mind. Ayami kicks off a new mission at school, aiming to ruin both the prefect program and the shady perverts of gathered fabric in one go. So, her blue snow identity returns, spreading lewd materials all over campus, while Tanukichi plays bait by hanging up his old boxers. Yes, this is Socks' version of advanced espionage, underwear on a clothesline and a dream. But instead of capturing a gathered fabric freak, Anna and Oboro arrive. Anna instantly goes full WWE and wrestles Tanukichi to the floor. Kasuri, watching from the sidelines, throws a jealous tantrum because she's not involved in the action. Girl really wants her own unhinged moment, like a side villain from Mean Girls. Later, Ayame replays the mission with improvements. Tanukichi manages to actually knock out several gathered fabric goons. During the chaos, someone stumbles into the room. Without thinking, Tanukichi pins them and steps on their crotch like a reflex. To his horror, the person is Oboro. Worse, Oboro reveals that she owns a banana and has been faithfully trained to serve Anna's family. Before anyone can react further, the fire alarm blares and students are evacuated. Back at Socks' base, Kasuri admits she pulled the alarm to cause trouble. Ayami doesn't celebrate. She scolds her for ruining their operation and wasting a golden opportunity. Kasuri sulks in the corner like a child who got banned from Roblox. Socks regroups, unsure of what to do next. That's when the weirdest message yet arrives, a note written on a pair of panties, inviting them to a nearby park. With zero hesitation, the crew heads out. Waiting for them is White Peak, the leader of Gathered Fabric. He finally steps into the spotlight, looking like a bargain bin anime villain dressed from a laundry pile. He announces his intentions loud and proud, to work with Socks and bring down the Decency Squad. Tanukichi and Ayame aren't impressed. Ayame especially wants nothing to do with him. She sees White Peak as a creep who uses their cause as an excuse to sniff underwear. Tanukichi agrees. Socks begins a tense negotiation with White Peak, but Ayame isn't having it. She rips into him for hiding his creepy panty thief agenda behind the mask of erotic terrorism. This dude is no freedom fighter, he's just a sweaty laundry goblin pretending to be deep. Ayame sees through every inch of it. Next morning, Tanukichi hops onto a school bus, expecting another average day of chaos. But nope, White Peak hijacks the bus. Actually, he doesn't stop there. He hijacks multiple buses like he's running some twisted carnival. Tanukichi, Guriki, Otome, Hyuka, Anna, and even Oboro all end up on separate buses. Welcome to Socks' worst group field trip ever. White Peak also takes over the PM broadcasting system like a second-rate villain monologuing on national TV. He announces war on the government and proudly claims Socks as his ally. Ayame nearly dies from second-hand embarrassment. Even a toddler wouldn't believe that nonsense. On Hyuka's bus, she tries watching the news, but notices the hijacker's gun is fake. This girl came for physics and accidentally enrolled in Die Hard. Anna, however, goes full action hero. On her bus, she knocks out her hijacker without even breaking a sweat. Oboro just watches like a loyal golden retriever. Goriki, being his usual clueless self, is ready to sacrifice his undergarments to the hijackers. That act alone traumatizes the entire bus. Everyone starts vomiting. It becomes less of a hostage situation and more of a biohazard zone. Tanukichi makes a break for it, somehow dodging vomit puddles and chaos alike. Ayame digs into White Peak's data and finds a major leak. His real identity might be closer than expected, so she devises a plan. Kasuri, acting like she's still loyal to Socks, lures White Peak's bus into the open. Tanukichi tries using his musk-infused underwear to weaken White Peak, but it fails. White Peak proves too strong. or maybe just too nose dead. Ayami jumps in to help, trying to end the madness, but in a cruel twist, Kasuri turns heel. She kicks Ayami out of the bus, revealing she has now joined Gathered Fabric. Kasuri points a stun gun at Tanukichi like she's suddenly the villain of a low-budget spy movie. With no better option, he leaps off the bus and escapes. White Peak, now with Kasuri fully on his cringe side, takes the remaining hostages to Zashigoka Academy. This man still thinks he's leading a revolution, but really, he's just running a bizarre panty-themed field trip. Tanukichi regroups, only to get ambushed again, but this time by Hyuka, who continues being the most unpredictable science nerd in town. Later, at Zashigoka, Gathered Fabric demands ransoms while their kidnapped students are forced into fresh undergarments. Otome, who clearly needs help, gets way too excited watching people wear new panties. Ayami and Tanukichi hide out to assess the mess. The school is under siege, Gathered Fabric is clowning around, and Sox's reputation is in the mud. Hyuka shows up again to explain how Anna, and people like her, are basically brainwashed to believe their morality is always correct, no matter how psycho their actions are. Tanukichi finally gets a plan cooking, and it's just crazy enough to work. He wants to use Anna's warped sense of justice against White Peak. Meanwhile, Kasuri continues playing strategist, thinking she's the queen of 4D chess. But White Peak drops the real bomb. He doesn't care about revolution. He just wants underwear and attention. The betrayal hits Kasuri hard, and she tries to shock him into submission. Otome secretly calls Tanukichi, confirming that there's still hope. The final showdown kicks off when Ayame, Tanukichi, Goriki, Oboro, and even Anna crash the party. Tanukichi makes the ultimate play, convincing Anna that Sox is actually fighting for justice. That's all it takes. Anna goes full nuclear and helps destroy White Peak without blinking. Otome helps the students flee, while Ayame and Anna tag team White Peak with more violence than necessary. He's finally shut down. No more fake revolutions or panty speeches. Sox wins. Anna walks off like nothing happened, and Ayami delivers a public speech full of spicy jokes that would make even a statue blush. Kasuri crawls back to Sox like the defeated side character she is. This time, she bows to Ayame, calling her master for real. And if you thought White Peak would be a real villain, you're dumber than a vending machine that sells ice in Antarctica. Sox receives a mysterious invitation to a hot springs resort in Nukumi. Tanukichi remembers a strange artifact handed down by his father, probably the weirdest family heirloom in anime history. This doesn't feel like a vacation, it feels like a setup. At the resort, the group bumps into Guriki and Anna, because of course they're here too. This anime doesn't believe in privacy. They find Sophia passed out on the floor, looking like she just lost a boss fight in Dark Souls. Then, out walks a new weirdo, an Eero-terrorist, calling himself Base Black. This man has the drip of a forgotten Power Rangers villain and the energy of someone who hasn't touched grass in 5 years. Turns out he's the one who summoned everyone here, and now he challenges them to a Yakuken duel, a strip rock paper scissors showdown to win the artifact. Guriki steps up like a noble warrior and immediately loses. His undressing stuns Base Black into total confusion, like he just saw his favorite anime get cancelled. Tanukichi takes this chance to grab the artifact and flee like the shameless opportunist he is. Tanukichi and Ayame escape on a tram up the mountain, but of course, Anna climbs the cables, like the golem from the Lords of the Rings. She causes the tram floor to collapse, and once again, Tanukichi's trauma multiplies. They survive and end up at an old mansion that clearly hasn't seen Windex in a century. Inside, they find a vault mechanism that fits the artifact perfectly. Kasuri and Otome show up like it's a surprise party and help unlock the vault. What's inside is a treasure trove of erotic sculptures, ancient statues of juicy mangoes, bananas, and deep tunnels from a time when freedom of expression actually existed. It's the holy grail of lewd art. Sox doesn't take anything, they just stand there in awe. This is their dream, to see the world, remember that erotic expression isn't evil. They pledge that someday, this treasure will be shared with the world again, when the iron grip of anti-fruit censorship finally breaks. And that is it for today. You, filthy legends, go touch grass now. But if you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and drop your thoughts in the comments. Until next time.